Hey, kitty girls, it's Sunday, July 25th, 2021, and welcome to Cubs Out Loud Drag Race All Stars Season 6, Episode 6, Rumerican Horror Story, Coven Girls.
Or Coven Girls, as Rue kept saying.
Or Covent Girls. Something.
I don't even know.
She kept
was
throwing a
saying
T in there somewhere.
There was a T that didn't belong in the T. Like, she didn't know, whatever.
Yeah. I think she was thinking covenant for some reason. But anyways, or convent. I don't know. So, hi, welcome to the show. For those of you that don't know who we are, my name is Gary, and with me is my ever fabulous co-host.
Hello, everyone. It's Damon. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, we do this little thing here with Cubs Out Loud where we do a whole side series where we talk about the latest American-based seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race. So, it is All-Star Season 6. We are about halfway through the season. And we apparently have to pray at the altar of Ryan Murphy because we're going to do a parody show. Yeah. Uh-huh. So.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. There's this one. This one's for the books. I'm just, yeah.
Somebody has some thoughts. Somebody has some opinions and feelings on the episode. Someone is feeling a certain kind of way, and it ain't me.
Really? Just gonna throw me under like that?
Right under the bus.
Ain't got no dog. Ain't got no cat. I don't even have a
ain't
fish.
Blaming it on the dog.
Ferret. I got nothing to blame it on.
Nope. Ain't nothing to blame it on. Can't even blame it on the rain or Bianca Del Rio. You just gotta.
Yeah.
Here we go, honey. Because I will own. Okay, so y'all. So we talked about this a little in pre-show, but like, let's just call it what it is. So Gary watched the show. I don't want to say live, but he watched it on Thursday, and he gave some very He said some things in the COL entourage or COL Drag Race Telegram chat. Check it out, ding. That were. I hadn't watched the episode because I don't watch it until Friday, but I was like, oh, okay. Somebody's got some stuff to say or was having some feelings about it. And I'm very curious what those feelings are.
I didn't even remember what I wrote. Now I'm like, let me scroll back and see what I wrote because. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you already have some insight because the very first comment kind of gives away my attitude, but
yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, you ready to get into our first segment?
Let's do it.
Racers, start your engines, and may the best drag queen win.
All right, so let's put the pedal to the metal. Let's get started on this race. Here are our overall thoughts on the episode from toot to boot, front to back, up, down, left, right, A, B, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Up, down, yeah.
Up, down, left, right, A, B, start. I think is what it is. I don't know.
See.
I'm not a gamer.
As I say, you knew better than me, like, because I didn't have gaming systems. But that being said, Damon, I'm going to let you go first. What were your thoughts on the episode?
Like Trinity the Tuck said, where are the jokes? So I'm gonna put it like this. I don't watch American Horror Story. I know enough about it to know what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't watch this particular season, although it did interest me. Don't get me wrong. I was particularly interested in this season. And I almost watched it, but I am not a horror movie fan.
Okay.
And I'm not a horror fan. Mm-hmm. So that aspects of it were enough for me to be like, maybe not.
Yeah.
So I steered away from it. But I got the gist of what was going on. Like, they were essentially playing their the actor. They were portraying the actors, playing the characters, playing the actor. I don't know. Because their names were the names of the actors, if I'm remembering correctly. But
yeah.
But again, but they were playing the actors playing the characters and are making like drag or whatever versions of their comedic versions of the characters because the show is rather serious if I'm remembering correctly. I'm sure it has its moments, but
Yeah, it's more like fantasy drama.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really comedy.
Yeah, so that's kind of what they were going. That's what I normally think of when I see these. That's what I think they're going for is like a little bit of comedy because that's what they're known for. So again, like I said, like where were the jokes? There weren't really anything like outlandishly funny. There were moments, but this felt so off. Like I don't know who wrote this. I don't know the scriptwriters who wrote this, but it wasn't much to go on. And then you're like, okay, so now you have to be again, like the confusing part of it is like you have to be the actors playing their characters, but that's what it seemed like to me. Like they're supposed to be. I don't know. Like that's what it felt like to me. And there were things that were being said that didn't make sense. Then I'm like, okay, well, what's going on? And then like for the biggest thing for me is like, so we're tired of Jan being over the top and what have you, but literally we're giving her the biggest over the top role because it's made for her. If there's anyone who's the Leah Michelle of drag, she even says it herself. I'm like, okay, like, and then they praise her. So like, again, I'm going to stop giving queens mixed fucking signals. Just last week, y'all were all like, she can't be all up in the fields and all like at 110. And in this episode, you're praising her for it. Because again, that's confusing. How the hell is the queen supposed to know? Mm-hmm. But that's me. Gary?
Well, what I said was Gary and the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad episode. I had PTSD.
Ooh.
This took me back to season 7, episode 3.
Ooh.
Which, by the way, has the longest episode title name since we started recording Drag Race, at least. That one was called To Beat or Not To Beat? That is the shady question.
Oh.
AKA the infamous Shakespeare episode. I had flashbacks. It was deja vu. It does not help that Ginger was in that episode and that she is in this episode.
Well, at least Ginger was good in both episodes.
I removed the memory of that episode from my mind, but this brought back the emotional, like, strife, the anger, the frustration, the pissosity, the conundrum, the bullshittery, the shenanigans. Like, it was so bad. So bad. Hands down, I'm going to go on record. This is the worst episode in the entire franchise ever existing. Hate it with a passion, burn it with fire. I never want to see it again. It was the worst. It was. So let's get into why I hate it so much, shall we?
Carrie, tell us how you really feel.
Because...
But it's true, though. I mean, it's...
So, here's the thing. So, they're doing a parody of a Ryan Murphy show. So, American Horror Story is a whole series by Ryan Murphy that comes out on Fox, and it is horror-based. And some of it's a little gory, but not quite that much. It's more thriller. It's fictionalized, and technically they all take place in the same universe. So, we decide to, like, take Cover Girl, the RuPaul song, the phrase and turned it into Coven Girls, which is a spoof on Coven, the season of American Horror Story where they're in New Orleans in this house of, it's a witch school, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the concept of what we're supposed to be working with. Is
So
we're,
get that in your mind.
We're RuPaul dragifying this as the idea behind this. So I want to talk about this first because this was about the only bright moment in the entire episode.
Mm-hmm.
So the queens are busy, kikiing, yada, 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 going back and forth. And then all of a sudden they get the whoop, do I still have it? I do.
She already the hair hers.
So then everybody's got to scurry over and look at the big TV on the screen and figure out what in the hell's going on because they don't know what the story is in that case. And and behold,
hold on.
Yes.
Hold on. Is it cold in the workroom?
Yes.
Apparently it's cold because
Because-
everybody wearing jackets.
It
Like,
is. Queens have been bitching about it for years because of the first several seasons. It wasn't cold enough because when the queens are all done up and wearing all their hair and their getup, they are just sweating, the house down. And now it's like a freezer box. Apparently, it's like a walk-in, cooler. And
wow.
so-
I mean, I love how Ginger is like the only one that's not. But again, he's probably again. I'm a little like again. It's like she probably is already warm-blooded because she's a bear.
well, and she lives in Florida, so
Also that.
she's probably like, "Girl, I thrive in the air conditioning. Give me the AC."
Uh-huh.
So yeah, Akaria's got a long sleeve cardigan on. So does Pandora, and Trinity K. Bonet is wearing a full not a full leg, but a 3/4 leg
Trench coat. Trench
dress
coat
coat
also.
duster and plaid, and then Raja's wearing this denim kind of coat as well. Jan's wearing her varsity leather jacket, and Kylie Sonique Love is wearing this bright lime green
Orange.
with purple hinted. It's very what the kids would think is 80s, which is not. Kind of puff jacket wraparound thing. And then I don't know what's going on with Eureka. She's giving us new baby gay, non-binary bear at Pride. I'm not sure what the story is.
I'm loving. I'm kind of cool with it. I get it. I mean, yeah, it's cute. It's all right. Go ahead.
So yes, anyways, it's freezing in the workroom. That's why they're all
Good
dressed
to
like
know.
that.
Yeah.
And probably it's been cold overnight. And so in theory, this is the morning. This is the start of a new day. So since they haven't been very active and they haven't had to run around and do shit yet, it's probably a bit chill in the room. So anyways, they get the call, right? They get the bat signal, the roost signal, whatever you want to call it, and they come over. And the reason why they're reacting like this is because the one bright shining moment is Miss Angela Bassett, the diva herself, is live cam on the screen chatting with them in this hot ass look
Oh,
with the leather jacket, the hair,
Oh,
of course, the makeup. She's snatched. It is.
can't.
Yeah.
I can't. She looks so fucking good.
She does. She does.
Oh.
So she's there to give them advice on acting because it's an acting challenge.
Sure.
So perhaps they should have gotten Tammy Brown instead. Not that Angela Bassett gave bad advice, but yeah. So that's
y'all.
That's the thing. What?
Y'all. Angela Bassett is 62.
Oh, baby, she don't look at at all.
Y'all.
At all. She looked a
Get
good
out.
20 years younger, if not more.
Because I was sitting there thinking, God, she did, What's Love Got to Do with It? She did the Tina Turner movie, and I was like, oh my God, I feel like it wasn't just yesterday. No, it was 20, 30 years ago.
Right. And the other reason why Angela Bassett is here, for those that aren't aware, is because she played the voodoo priestess in the season of Coven, because it takes place in New Orleans. So there's a direct tie-in as to why she's here for this particular episode. Not only is she a brilliant actress and highly qualified to provide some insights and some advice to the queens, she also has a direct tie-in to the spoof parody kind of thing that they're going to do. So So we have a pretty good setup and premises. We have this whole thing about like who's gonna get what role, and it seems super obvious that some of these roles were written for some of the girls. Like, there's no way Jan wasn't gonna be the Leah like character.
Correct.
Sure, someone else could have been the bearded lady, aka Kathy, but it ends up going to Eureka because she's the biggest of the bunch. And Kathy in that role is kind of a bigger woman. I mean, technically, her and Ginger could have swapped, I guess.
Maybe.
I don't know. So, anyways, like, there's definitely some things that line up pretty well. So, yeah. That being said, so here's my critique number one that pisses the fuck off of me about these acting challenges. Can we talk about the arrangement of this setup? So this is a filmed production, but it is spaced. It is like staged like it is a stage production. Everybody has to cheat front. Everybody has to like face a certain direction. I'm like, why? We have multiple cameras. This is like one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. And it pissed me off to no end because do you know what everybody's doing? Everybody's doing this shit. Everybody is delivering not to the person I'm talking to. I'm going in all sorts of directions. I'm over here. I'm looking at this. It's unnecessary. They're drag queens, and it's a parody, and it's a shitty parody. It's an awful parody. It's horrendous. It is just as bad, if not worse, than the Shakespeare episode from season 7, episode 3, that I already referenced earlier. So
I'm sitting here like, I mean, I am not hearing anything wrong.
I'm just like, there's so many
like I agree with like
that I take
like
with
right,
this.
that's one of my biggest things too. Like I don't.
Why are we treating them like they're in the 6th grade play?
Yes.
Speaking of treating them like they're in the 6th grade, we got this motherfucker.
Ooh.
And this bitch.
Ooh.
I want them both fired. I don't want them directing anything ever again. If the two of you are going to be sour grapefruit pussies about this shit and show up and be this miserable to everybody, and you can't be constructive to anybody except the one that you want to be the star, get the fuck out. Stick to judging. Don't direct.
Y'all, I love that you're going back to that face. I was watching this episode, and I really do want to watch it again. I don't really want to, but I may have to, just because I want to watch it again with a different eye.
What kind of eye do you want to watch it with?
Wait. The eye that understand is trying to pay as much attention to everything. Because I honestly, I don't care what they say half the time. Because after like the first like thing where they're all like sour grapey about stuff, I tuned Ross and Michelle. See, told you. Like, tune the fuck out. Like, because in my mind, I don't. Half the time, okay, I'll put it like this. Because we've gotten so used to how so fucking produced this show has become, half the time what they're saying doesn't matter because usually whatever's going on is the opposite of what will happen in the episode. If people who are struggling, usually half the time, or if not most of the time, the person who's struggling ends up shining. Or if they're saying something to someone that's actually genuinely struggling, it's usually something to the effect of stop struggling, which doesn't make sense to me because that's not really going to be helpful. Just like you were saying, like there's nothing really helpful about the direction. If there was something helpful about the direction, I might have paid more attention.
Right.
But it wasn't helpful.
Right.
Like their direction, like they're okay. So I'm going to put 2 perfect examples because it's fucking hit the spoiler alert because this is something that kind of goes there. Sorry, just really quick. So spoiler alert, y'all. So they gave Raja and Akira these directions about. So with Raja, it was like, so Raja came in with this voice and this idea behind her character of like she was going to be kind of demure, but she was kind of kind of had this nerdy, high pitchy voice and a little bit of a lisp, what have you, and she kind of gave this way. And the direction that was given was that a lisp isn't a higher pitched voice. A lisp is a tongue. It's from the tongue. And I'm like, okay, then how does she do that? Are you going to tell her how? Are you going to show her how? Are you give her any information? Do you have a vocal coach? Do you have someone that could actually give someone an opportunity to know what a lisp actually is, so they can like maybe know what to do in regards to a lisp? No, you have it written down on a piece of paper and it says a lisp. Now they can't go looking at shit, right? Like they don't have the opportunity to go look up something and find something out. All they have to go on is what their mind comes up with and maybe what the other people saying. And at the end of the day, what it should be is direction from the directors. So what the fuck happened? And so there's that. With Akira, they were like, you're playing like give us more. Oh, what's the word that they used?
She was coming in with too much energy, I think, and they wanted more attitude.
Yeah. Energy and attitude. Okay. So she did it again. Came in. And they're like, well, now you've turned you've lost the energy, but now you've turned attitude into like monotone. And I'm like, well, like that again doesn't give Akira what to do.
Right.
It just says no energy. You said too much energy, you want attitude. So she came back and she gave you attitude. Because there was attitude in that line when she gave it again. And then you're like, oh, it's too monotone. Where's the next part? I need more than that. Mm-hmm. In order for you to direct me, in order for me to get a direction to get something right or what you want, I need more than just like, it's not this.
And I think what bothered me about this, David, the more I'm listening to you talk, is they treated them like it was a normal season of Drag Race. Like that they're just supposed to somehow magically into their minds be able to pluck from the ether what it is that the directors want from them. And I'm like, you know all these girls. They've already been on before, and you have relationships with them. Why are you not helping them with analogy, with example, with something other than just these fucked up like instructions, like these weird ass notes? I'm like, really? And what irritates me the most is Michelle's done it before, so I kind of expected it from her. But this asshole, no, Mary, I don't have time for it. Like, I don't know what the hell happened. Did you both eat like bad, like, you know, Mexican, like before
bad
you got on
services.
the set? Like, what the fuck is the matter with the two of you? Nasty, just downright inappropriate attitudes and how they handle things.
Yeah, it just didn't work. And I don't know why, and I don't know what was going on, but the faces and stuff were not really helping. Yeah. And again, like, how do I put this? Direction is necessary in these kind of challenges. Yeah. It's not just repeating lines. Like, and I'll be blunt, the direction you gave Sonique, that's actual direction. And yes, you got up out of your chair and you actually went through and did it. Like that direction you gave her and the example that you showed her, that's what's needed sometimes. Sometimes these aren't actors. These ain't actors. None of these queens. Okay, let me be wrong. Ginger's an actor. Like, okay, like some of them have probably acted in some way, shape, or form. Jan's probably an actor. Ginger's probably done acting. I mean, Ginger's done acting, yeah. Right. But most of them are just queens that have a character that they have created. Mm-hmm. And then you're asking them to step outside of their character to play another character. Mm-hmm. But if you don't give any kind of direction or critique or show some kind of empathy about what is supposed to happen,
Mhm.
they don't know what to do.
Right.
An actor might. Ginger, I think, like I said, Ginger gave one of the best performances to me, because she got what the character was supposed to portray. They pulled it out of Sonique, but yeah, like that's about it.
It was so weird to me because at this stage it was like they got annoyed with Eureka.
Mm-hmm.
Is this what we're gonna get every time? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
moving on. Like, I mean, just like the side shit. I was like, what is going on with you? Why are you both being nasty cunts? I don't get it. And I was so irritated by that. And I was more irritated by this bullshit. So Kylie is like, they rock, paper, scissors fight for her to have the role of Jessica, which is what Ginger wanted. So fine. Kylie's going to get to play the Jessica Lange role. She gets the big role. And to be fair, she kind of looks like her.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the hair helps. Like, I mean, you know, there's a reason why I have this particular screenshot of her in the, you know, the acting challenge, because she's the one that looks the most kind of like her character. I mean, Pandora actually also kind of looks like her character. You know, and the rest of them, not so much.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of look like themselves portraying a character sloppily in some weird way. But anyways, so but I was so irritated when Michelle was irritated and decided to get out of her director's chair, walk onto set like it was some goddamned blessing from the heavens that she was going to give an acting lesson to one queen on how she should do her thing, because she wasn't doing it. And I'm like, oh, this bitch gets special treatment. And why is it special? Because I didn't see you. The edit does not show you doing that for the other 7 fuckers that are on that stage. Not a single one of them. I don't see you giving them example of what it is that you want to evoke out of them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think this is a very bad episode. I think it's the worst in the history of the entire universe of RuPaul's Drag Race. I detest it. I want to burn it like fire. You have no idea. And then let's talk about this bullshit. Bullshit. First of all, Pandora Box has to die. Her character, what actually happens in the real, like, Ryan Murphy universe of American Horror Story, that character does get burned at the stake as a witch. So the thing that she gets her pussy on fire and she burns up in flame or whatever and dies is one thing. The fact that she comes back as Joan Crawford, I was like, in Mummy Dearest, I was like, okay, this is kind of weird and like odd, but there was legitimately a slightly funny moment when the conjoined twins pull out hangers and Joan freaks out and they're like, no, they're not wire, they're velvet. And she's like, what? Like, she totally like snaps her character.
Yeah.
And like, it's
that was one of the funniest moments.
Right. It is about one of the funniest moments in the entire episode, which does not have very many funny moments. And then this bullshit. So we're still on the same set. And they have this whole debate about what they're going to do next, and that they decide they're going to go to 70s Soul Train. You know, one of RuPaul's favorite things. Disco. And then RuPaul ends up showing up as the host of the show, but they're still on the same set. So they're still in New Orleans in this vintage antique house, quote unquote. They're all dressed the same. This was the most flagrant, like, masturbatory moment in the history of the entire, like episodic series, anything of RuPaul's Drag Race. Like, I was so pissed watching this. I was like, I did not pay Paramount Plus to watch RuPaul jack off in my face. This is bullshit. It is absolute utter trash.
Okay. So I don't know what happened. Like,
it's her show. She can do what she wants.
No. I'm not talking about that.
Okay.
I know why it happened. I don't know what happened. Like, I was watching this and watching them go through the stuff, And then all of a sudden, now we're suddenly like doing this other fucking thing. We're in the 70s, but we're, like you said, we're in the same fucking house and no one has changed outfits. There's no change in lighting. There's no change in sound. There's no, like, maybe there's sound because we've got like the disco thing going on, but like there's nothing and there's no reason for it whatsoever. Like, there's no reason for this shit. And they didn't, and then they don't even do anything. There's a dude in, like, there's this dude in, like,
Right.
In full, you know, obviously masked because of masking and shit.
No,
but
no,
in
no,
like
no,
this
no.
full.
So the history, David, is the gentleman that's in the black spandex suit. He's supposed to technically be in the gimp suit, which comes from the very first season of American Horror Story. There is, you find out in the background here. Let me play this just in case people don't know. So, spoiler alert, in American Horror Story, you find out towards the end of the first season that there used to be a gay male couple that lived in that house, and one of them ends up buying a latex gimp suit to spice up their sex life, only he ends up becoming possessed, and he's a murderer, and so the gimp suit carries through in a couple other seasons. So it's a visual thing that comes from that universe. That being said, Mama, this is bullshit.
Mama, this is garbage.
This is not a gimp suit. This is just a black latex hood, like over the top with some.
His hands can move.
Like his spandex outfit. I mean, don't get me wrong. The man has a nice body that it's clinging to, but he's wearing some shitty boots. Like no.
Like
no.
Again, doesn't make sense. It came out of nowhere.
Right.
Like if he had been hiding in the background, like off and on here and there, like I ran across the stage, some shit, like some like fun like moment to kind of give you a little bit more into why he's there, maybe would have made more sense. I don't know the show. Maybe it's okay. Maybe because I don't know the show, maybe that's why it's not as. But again,
no, it's just utter bullshit. Like it wasn't necessary. It wasn't called for.
It was unnecessary. And again, like. Y'all have a green fucking stage. You have a green screen stage. If you're going back to the 70s, you could have done something. You could have, like, why did no one, like, change clothes? Why are we suddenly in the 70s and it's just RuPaul there? They didn't get transported there. There wasn't magic. I mean, there was magic or whatever. But, like right. It just didn't make sense. And it kind of went this, like, it literally turned this like harsh curve, and I didn't realize and I didn't understand what's going on. And I get maybe because maybe they were trying to play on that whole like every season has been in a different era and time, you know, thing. Maybe whatever. But as a person who doesn't watch American Horror Story, it came off as what the fuck for me.
Mm-hmm.
And as someone who has watched American Horror Story, it still came off as what the fuck.
Yeah, it was just a hot mess. It was a hot mess from the beginning, and it's a hot mess with a shit cherry on top of it now, with this bullshit like gimp guy and RuPaul and an ascot and an afro doing a shitty acting job, reading cards. Obviously, where the camera is was bad. Leroy Brown is rolling over in his grave. That's how bad this is. Like, it's downright horrible.
Okay.
Again, burn it with fire. Hate it. That's how I feel about it. You ready to move on?
Having said that, let's move on.
All right, so cruising the runway. Category is Oh My Goth. It's a fun, quippy line.
Mm-hmm.
However, this girl, this is what we wear on the runway. We wear a shake 'em, dancey kind of outfit with big hair, with what's supposed to be, I presume, a sweatband like a fashionable sweatband that doesn't fit your head.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Again, it's the thing I would want to see Rue do, and I don't understand why she doesn't, considering it's her show and she's the one that probably came. I don't want to say came up with the topics, but the runway categories or whatever. But it would be just kind of, it would be fun if Rue would join in on the categories. And this just obviously is not that at all. I mean, at least it's black. I mean, maybe it's not black. It looks maybe a little dark purple as I'm looking at it a little more. But it
Mama, this is garbage.
That's how I feel about it. I'm pissed off about the whole episode. I hate everything about it, except Angela Bassett. So there's very few redeeming things that happened in this episode. So that being said, Damon, what were your thoughts overall on the category before we do Serve, Swerve, Nerve?
So I'm just going to put it like it is, and I'm going to call it like it is. They should have just said black.
Okay.
Like, I looked at everyone's outfits, and I just recently watched like the pit stop, and I didn't get to see. They haven't done fashion photo review yet. I think those two like literally wait a week, or so.
Yeah.
But anyway,
they tend to come out like on the Wednesday right before the episode.
Mm-hmm. But overall, it was it goth. When I think of oh my goth, there are things I saw that maybe fell into that, but there are a lot of other things that were very just like not goth at all, in my opinion. So I would have preferred like Black is Back or something along those lines, because like R just said like black horror or something to kind of give it, because that's kind of what I feel some of the queens did. Like a little bit of like horror movie and a little bit of black. I don't really see a lot of goth, and it's okay. Like if it were not that really, like if that wasn't the theme, like we've learned, like you told me, I think you told the podcast, the Entourage chat, the COL Drag Race Entourage chat available on Telegram. If you had, you mentioned it in that chat that Scarlett mentioned on one of the podcasts, the Racer like podcast, that last week's pattern, it wasn't supposed to be Clash of the Patterns, it was just patterns.
Right. What the queens were told is not what's actually chosen or said for the actual episode. Now, we could kind of understand that because there's a whole spoiler aspect. Like they don't want queens spoiling what an episode theme is for the runway ahead of time. So they intentionally make it a little different, but there is a distinct difference between just patterns and Clash of the Patterns.
Agreed.
Because it almost seemed like last week, like they changed the name of it at the last minute. Because it worked better for some queens than others.
Yeah, because if you look at some of the outfits, like you start thinking about it, it makes more sense that they just said patterns.
Right. But instead, Rue does say that it's Clash of the Patterns. So, yes, it's a conspiracy theory, and I'm slightly supporting it, that I think they changed the theme once the girls got there and they saw what they had. So, yeah.
It's true. So, yeah. So, again, that's how I felt about it. I mean, I didn't hate, there was a lot of good things on the runway, but was it goth? No. Not to me. So, that's my thought. Gary?
I just said, huh. And you'll see why in a moment.
Oh. Well, here we go. Let me hold on. Let me get my notes over here. Let me get that over here. You can move over there. Let me get situated.
All right. So, first up, Miss Ginger Minge.
Light serve.
Okay.
I think it's cute. There's a nice weird blend of things. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. And I'm trying to put my head on why. And I think it's because I think she was maybe trying to go with like she's the voodoo doll, like it's a grown up doll kind of, kind of feel.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't quite land because the doll doesn't look like her.
Yeah, I mean, so I will say this. I agree with you that it's a light serve. I actually really liked this, but the more I look at it, the more it does get confusing. Especially because, as Bussy pointed out, I think the hair just does not seem to go with the outfit. And I think that's because if anyone has ever seen, I think it's Cinderella, and you've seen The Wicked Stepmother, girl, that's this hair.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not the outfit that she's serving, though. It's this strange, like,
Almost baby doll.
well, but it's Victorian, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a brooch, there's lots of lace, the big ass bow, but she's kind of like a doll, but she's not. She's carrying a doll that has pins in it. Yeah, it's just. But
Yeah.
here's my thing. For goth, okay, like. I feel a little constipated giving it like the serve on that.
Like if she had done a different hair, like if she had gone full like I'm a baby, like a Victorian baby doll. Like she had like the little spiral curl ringlet kind of like out like hair. If she had done that with the bow, like keep the bow. Bow's fine.
Right.
Bangs maybe. But like instead of this like bouffanty like double butt bun thing going.
Yeah.
Like if you'd done like the spiral like curls that like was known for like that Victorian time, I think it would have gone a lot better. And would have worked a lot better in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next up, Eureka.
Okay. First of all, why do we have the big girls always going after each other?
I don't know. I never caught that before.
Well, I'm not saying it happens every time, but it's just very interesting. Because they did it in the Hall of Fame, or not Hall of Fame, the halftime show thing where it was But anyway, I'm gonna give this a swerve.
Good, because I agree with you. I don't like it. I don't understand what's going on. We're wearing a leather corset with like this boudoir robe thing over the top. We're doing a strange Marie Antoinette inspired face with a crooked wig that's not necessarily that well coiffed. I don't understand.
I don't like this.
Yeah.
And I don't like it mostly because I don't think it all works well together. Yeah. And I'm gonna be honest. If she had done like, it looks like this, like under the corset is like a skirt that is the lace or see-through like sheer fabric. I would have preferred, and this is just me being honest, like if she had done this and like not had that skirt and then had like a big like coat of the sheer, like the fabric, and like let those legs and the little like what I'm assuming are the like the tights that are pantyhose and then they connect to garters and stuff, and shown all that, I might have been, hate to say it, I might have liked it a lot more. And gotten rid of this hair and that makeup. Like the hair and makeup gone. Like, no.
I just realized the reason why it irritates me is because it's like a bad representation of what you think Rocky Horror Picture Show should have been or something.
Yeah.
Or
it's
what
not
you're
even
trying
that.
to do. No, but that's what it's evoking for me. It's a corset with a white makeup face with a wig. Like, I mean, it's just, girl, no.
It's not good. Yeah. I don't like it. And I would have, I could see things that could have worked, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
Especially the hair.
Agreed. Miss Trinity K. Bonet.
serve. And this is kind of where, like, my idea of this being, like, this isn't really goth. This is more black.
Mm.
And this is starting that on me on that line.
Yeah.
I like it. I think that's a lot of train.
Oh, you mean this?
Yeah, that. It's lovely.
Girl, if you ever have said any queen on this show is wearing a feather duster to sweep the floor, this bitch is it.
Mm-hmm.
She literally dusted the stage.
Yes. And I would hate to see the underside of that black. That's one of the problems with black, y'all. You can see everything on it. Just saying. So unless that stage was clean.
Right.
But again, it's okay. Like, I don't hate it,
Right.
but I don't, like, I'm not sitting here like, oh my God, that's so amazing. I like the hat. I'm noticing she's doing a lot of no wig things, or at least these past couple of times. And that's okay. This works enough.
Yeah.
So I gave it a serve.
I agree. I called it a serve. It did not blow me away, but it was very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I was confused when she walked down the runway because I thought she was picking up the dress, the front of the dress, to show her legs. But then I realized, no, it was kind of built that way. So I'm not really sure why she was grabbing it the way she was in the front. Like, I understand trying to pick it up on the sides or whatever to fill it out. But, I mean, it's impressive. Girl, if I was at a gig and she was out there performing a number in this and doing Evanescence or some shit, I'd give her a coin. Like, I'd give her $1. Like,
yeah,
I'd give her $5. I'd be like, yes, you go, girl. Like, you spent some coin on
you
this.
know
It looks
that
good.
you spent some coin on that dress. I will say that much. Our outfit. I don't know if it's a dress. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
Might be a big ass coat.
Next up, Ms. Raja O'Hara.
This is nerve in the positive. And I'm going to say why.
Okay.
The main reason is because it is not all black. And
Okay.
everyone went like pretty much for the most part all black.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the few times where it's not all black. The main thing, while it has a black embroidery or design on it, it is a either nude or a nudish color that works really well. I love the hair, and I wish that the lights weren't purple because I didn't realize the hair was purple until we were in Untucked. Or backstage, let me put it like that.
Yeah.
But I love the hair. I love the trouser. I know it's a little simple, which is also a kind of like I'm giving it a nerve. But Raja can rock a pair of pants, and she's been doing it really well. These aren't the best fitting pants she's worn, but it all kind of works together. I love this. I love the idea behind it. So, yeah, she gave me my nerve. What about you?
I call it serve. The only reason I won't give it nerve is it's so close to being a nerve, but my problem is that the nude illusion isn't the right color.
Well, I would have been if it wasn't a nude, like, my usual thing is I don't think it's supposed to be a nude illusion. I think it's supposed to be just that color. Now, I could be wrong.
Right, but that's a problem on her skin. That's my issue. Yeah. I'm looking at it and I'm like, it's not blending in. Is it supposed to blend in? Because it's not. And if it's not, I don't know how to not see it trying to blend in.
I would love to see it up close because I'm wondering if, as opposed to it being a nude color, it's more of a very light, like lilac or something along those lines. I don't know. Could be wrong.
I think it's black, like lace in a pattern over top of another fabric. And that's my issue, is that I think it was custom made. I think you made it, and there's nothing wrong with that because Raja's very talented. But Miss O'Hara, like, it doesn't work well. And here's one of the things that happens on the show, though. These girls make these things, and they don't have show lights. They don't have television lights in their home, in their studio, in their drag room or whatever. So maybe under regular phosphorescent, home lighting, LEDs or whatever, it looks a lot more natural. But, we've seen that many times, that wigs and face and all that, it just doesn't work. So, but no, it is definitely a serve. And that hair, mama, it's amazing. She turned
I
the
love that
corner,
hair.
and I was like, "That's some
I
killer hair."
love that hair.
Yeah, and her mug is beat. Like she
Mm-hmm.
really served it. So I was very happy with that. Next up, Miss Akira C. Davenport.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm sending. Oh, you bitch. You fucking bitch. Sorry, Jim didn't get things. Fucking A. Na, 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 na. Anyway. So, serve, but not goth. This is one of the reasons why I was saying this is, they should have just called it black. Because this does not scream. Well, okay, let me rephrase. It probably screams gothic, but not necessarily goth to me. I don't think I would ever see like some kid walking, some goth person walking down the street in this, especially with them high ass boots and that ponytail hair and this big ass crown, fascinator, whatever you want to call it. But I do like it. I do like it. I do like the construction. I don't know if she made this herself or not, but I do like it. I just, yeah, it's not goth to me.
I don't know how I feel. Honestly, like, it's okay. I agree it's not gothic. It doesn't do anything for me. You know, Trixie and Peppermint were talking about if she turned the crown up or turned the cross upside down, that would have been more goth. Like, that would have been more like counterculture-ish. Like, that would have maybe done something different. But she's got several crosses on her body. I'm just like, girl, I don't know. I'm
I
not
don't
sure
think
what you're trying to tell me.
I don't think it needs the headpiece. Like I'm just like I take the headpiece off, and I don't think the headpiece is necessary.
I would have been more impressed if she'd worn something like Hela from the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
Mm-hmm.
like some crazy ass like crown of like
Yeah,
branches and spikes and shit. But like,
yeah. Like
yeah,
I,
I don't know.
I, yeah. I don't. Again, I like that it's different. Like the spikiness of the material, whatever that may be. I think it's maybe a vinyl or um, maybe even neoprene. I don't know, but it's very just like the cutting of it, the sharpness of it is nice to me. Huh. Okay.
Next up, Jan.
Swerve.
Really? Okay.
I didn't like it's too much. There's too much going on.
Hmm.
And it's hard for my eye to focus on one thing. And that's where I have a problem with it. There's these big like the sleeve things that are just like, lines or pieces, strips of fabric, but maybe not fabric or whatever. And there's this the I love the face. Love the face, love the hair. But once you get into the outfit, like it looks like a bodysuit over a bodysuit over or with a like big like dress sheer coat skirt thing going, and it just doesn't it's just like, again, I just think it's too much.
I didn't have an issue with it. I consider it a serve, but
Mm-hmm.
I do not necessarily know if I would fully say it's goth. However, given everything else that I've seen on the runway, this is one of the best ones that I've seen on the runway this episode.
Fair.
So, like, that's why I'm like, all right, girl, you go for it, because Jan is really like delivering on something, and
Mm-hmm.
I do not dislike it. So,
Yeah, I just think I needed an edit.
mm,
Like take the sleeves off or take the skirt off. Something just needed to come off. One of those things.
I mean,
Yeah.
and the coffin as the little like bag on the back thing,
Yeah.
I thought was a really great touch. I I don't know, like I really kind of liked it. Like this to me was evocative of like of a music video that would have music in it that I probably wouldn't listen to. But but that's why I liked it. You know, I was like, wow, this is really kind of giving me a whole story and delivery. Like there's something going on here. And of course the white contacts were a huge benefit to this look and this.
Yeah.
Because at one point in the show, I think maybe it's later on Tuck, she takes them out. And I'm like, wow, it really changes the way you look by not having them all whited out. So
Yeah.
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 Next up, Kylie Sonique Love.
This is another swerve for me.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It's a great outfit, and I think it's very sexy, and I think it's very, it works really well. I don't think well, no, that's not true. She has the body for it, but so do a lot of other queens.
Yeah, like it doesn't say gothic to me.
No,
in any way, shape, or form.
No.
I mean, I hate to say it, but this says stripper.
Yeah.
This says like adult entertainment with a pole. Like this says like I'm serving body, and I'm a sex like desirable object thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not what we were requesting. So I was like, okay, that's a thing. She looked good in it.
Yeah.
And I want to give recognition to Michelle for calling out that she was wearing nude fishnets underneath, because I didn't catch that at all the first time when I saw her walk the runway. And then later when I was like preparing and trying to get a screenshot and stuff, I was like, oh, okay. Like it's barely visible there, and it was very smartly done because it's hard to clock that she was wearing them. But that was the whole point, is that it was a nice touch that added a depth of something that you weren't quite aware of. But yeah, no, it's just I think the makeup's a little too harsh too. I'm just
not goth. Black, yes. I appreciated the red, the hints of red.
Yeah.
But again, this, like you said, this looks like a stripper outfit.
Because it is.
And this looks like you can get it at at those adult stores like Hustler or Playboy or whatever. Probably $10.99 or maybe 60, $70. Like you can get the whole stocking. The wig doesn't really work either. The makeup is, like you said, definitely harsh. I would have liked something else to go with it, but yeah, she's just a stripper. And again, I don't mind body.
Right.
And I love Kylie, and I think she's done really great things with her body,
right,
and has given us really great outfits. This is not one of them.
Agreed. And then last but not least, Pandora box with the grieving widow.
Serve.
It's a serve, honey.
Absolute serve.
Oh my God.
Again, obviously not like to me, like it's goth-ish. Because it's that Victorian,
right.
Goth,
it's
like
gothic,
moment.
as opposed to being like what we would probably think of, given our age, the goth movement with punk. But yes, yeah, it's this great like callback to another era.
I love
this amazing dress, the velvety deal. Yes, the curtain with
the
cross,
curtain. Yes, yeah,
like that box deal. Yes.
Loved it. I appreciated this look very much. I thought it was one of the best.
I'll be honest with you. I'm curious to see what Pandora's future is, because, I guess I'll play this again. The preview for next week's episode, the impression that I'm getting is that she's in trouble. Which is usually a misdirect. So I'm not sure if she's going to go home in episode 7, because she didn't go home in this episode. But if she continues to keep delivering like this, she's going to be one of the top contenders. And I'm very proud and happy for that to happen for Miss Pandora. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Like I said, I really like this look, and I think it goes really well, but I am concerned This was okay. Actually, I'm gonna go to the doc because I have something else to say. Move on. We can move on.
Okay. Well, that's all of the queen's looks on the runway. That's what we ended up getting out of them for the runway stuff. So, I guess I'll jump into this. We'll talk about the whole winning aspect thing. For some reason, the judges say that Kylie won. And here's the reason why I said that. Because in the Telegram chat, this is the moment when it got revealed that she won. Well, first of all, prior to that, I said, why? Damon, I'm going to warn you now, I have one specific opinion. And it was the whole, I hate this episode, and it wasn't even over yet. And then at this moment, it was right before this, when they say that Kylie won, I was like, am I high? Did I see the same thing the judges did? So confused.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think that Kylie deserved to win. I'm sorry. I think it should have gone to Ginger more than Kylie.
Yeah. I'll get into that. But yes, I agree.
So I was not really all that thrilled. But that being said, so Kylie wins. Yay, Kylie. She finally gets a win. Good for her.
Yay.
And then she puts on another stripper outfit and comes out looking like this, which I don't think is her best look. But anyways. And so she's going to, lip sync for her legacy. See if she can win $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a mystery assassin. Lo and behold, it is the only Manila Luzon.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. This was an okay moment. It wasn't as bright and as exciting as Angela Bassett making a guest appearance, but I was kind of happy.
Yeah. I love Manila.
Right.
And again, I'm looking at this outfit and I'm not loving it, but like it's Manila. It's very much her. And I appreciate it. And I appreciated her coming back as an assassin.
Yeah. Yeah. She comes back as an assassin. So of course everyone's excited because Manila is a very good lip syncer and, overall performer. So we're about to see a real competitive number out of the two of them. And they both strike kind of a look. They're both wearing knee-high boots.
They're both wearing knee-high boots.
Yeah, and glovey things. So I mean, there's kind of a some similarities going on. But, Miss Kylie. So, do you know what I found out about Miss Kylie? Yes. Her chesticles are as real as any other woman's because they're uneven, baby. Her right one hangs lower than the left one. Why? Because of moments like this in this image. It's not because she lifted her right arm that the top is moving. It is because in order for the top to be perfectly level, her right titty is hanging lower. Period. It just hangs lower, which I was like, that makes me think you should rethink this top, or you should get it redone and cut a little bit so that it comes further down on the tatas. But that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they are both lip syncing to Christina Aguilera's "Dirty."
Mm-hmm.
One of my all-time favorite Aguilera songs.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't help that it's in an episode that I absolutely fucking hate. So they do their thing. Kylie has signature moves.
Mm-hmm.
She's very limber.
Mm-hmm.
Manila does not really attempt to do anything, which I thought was weird. But then I thought, well, she's not trying to win money. She's getting paid for the gig because she's there. That's the end of it. And maybe because she knows Kylie, because they live in California, they live in LA, most likely once Manila knew who she was going up against, in her mind, I wouldn't be surprised. She was like, oh, fuck this shit. Like, no. Like,
I'm good.
Right. I don't need to try to beat this bitch because she gonna, no matter what I try, she is going to end up beating me. So maybe that was an intentional kind of thought process or whatever. I will say this was slightly amusing that they both went for the same move at the same time.
Uh-huh.
But yeah. So Kylie wins.
I
She gets the $10,000.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Um, so many thoughts in just this image alone. Because there's a part of me that has a feeling that I know exactly what's going on in this moment. And I'm going to say it now. And I know we've hit the spoiler alert like 3-4 times already, but still. Raja knew she wasn't going home.
You really think so?
Yes, I do.
Interesting, because I did not get that feeling. I honestly thought.
I think Raja knew she wasn't going home, and Akira knew she was.
And see, I thought the opposite.
Mm.
But then again, I was being led by the editing, the narrative.
Yeah.
That
Akira
and Kylie had this talk in the workroom, and she was, Kylie was so supportive of her and appreciated her, like, her fight and her blah, 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 and her energy.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't the kind of conversation she had with Raja. So I was like, well, this sucks, because this might be when Raja leaves. And then, she gives this whole, like, little speech thing before she pulls out the lipstick. Notably, it was not in a slipcover. So, yeah.
Usually theirs aren't. The only one that's in the slipcover is the one that goes to the assassin. Because they know who they're taking. They know who they're.
You're right.
The winner knows who they're sending home. Like, they've picked that. So
that's true.
Yeah. Sorry. Just,
no, it's fine.
I mean, you're probably just so heated over the episode overall that you're just like fuck it.
Well, I just want to flush it down the toilet because it's a big fat turd. That's all there is to it. So, but here's the thing. So we get to this moment. So it's Raja and Akira who are in the bottom two. Now, the way things have developed for this particular season, we know who's in the bottom, and we know who the winner has to select from.
Mm-hmm.
If it's the group, they could theoretically... No, they can't. They can't even do that. I was just going to say, they could theoretically go sideways and pick someone totally random, but they can't. They have to pick from the bottom. Rue listens to the judges' critiques and makes a decision on who's in the bottom. This time it's 2 as opposed to 3, because Lord knows it changes every fucking week. So we've got 2 in the bottom, and it happens to be Raja and Akira. Even though I think that they got not very good help, and I kind of call shenanigans on that bullshit.
I do as well.
Like, I think Eureka should have been in the bottom too. Like, not in the bottom of 2 people, I think as well. Eureka should have been in the bottom. Shake her fat ass up.
So
Because Lord knows she'd give us camera time and be like, ooh, that's a fire under me. I'm not going to be at the bottom again. Okay,
yeah.
Girl.
Like, so on my notes, I put in the top, Ginger, Jan, Kylie. In the bottom, Eureka, Eureka, Akira, and Raja. In when they were given the critiques, mind you. So this is this is the judges' critiques. So I knew who was on stage.
Right.
I have some thoughts, and I'll get to those later. But
yeah,
yeah.
So, and lo and behold,
gong gong.
Kylie picks Akira to go home. Akira was incredibly gracious.
Akira, okay. Again, Akira knew, and like, of the queens that I've seen out there, Akira is the one that is the most like, I get it. Like, I know how this shit is played. I know how everything's going down. She knew this is her 3rd time in the bottom.
Right.
She knew this was Raja's first time in the bottom, I think. Anyway, she's been on this platform long enough to kind of know that usually 3 strikes are out if you get that far.
Right.
So she kind of knew there was not a whole lot she could do.
Yeah.
She could fight, and she did. Don't get me wrong. She still tried, She didn't give up like Yara. She knew, even though she knew, like I said, even though she knew she was going to go home, she still tried to fight for it to stay.
Right.
And the odds were stacked against her.
Right.
You know, she, of the queens so far, she was the one that couldn't afford to fall into the bottom again. Just because of just everything that's been going on.
Right.
And
I mean, the reality is if Akira or Jan were in the bottom, it would make sense that they go home.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And if both of them had been in the bottom this episode, that would have been all the more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it might have been Jan that went home instead of Akira.
I agree.
Because I think the rest of the bitches would be like, you're just annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and whiny, and we're tired.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, they decided to go with Akira, so, you know.
Yeah.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, Damon, because I've been wrong before, but no matter what, Akira was going home this episode.
Yeah. Like, there was no way about it.
Yeah.
Like, the only way she couldn't have gone home is if everyone else had voted for Raja, which they didn't.
Right.
Or like Kylie had picked Raja for some reason. And I don't know. Like if I'm remembering the votes correctly, I think it was unanimous. With the exception of obviously Akira.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm wondering if maybe that's even wrong. It's not like it wouldn't be the first time. Come here, you. Hey, y'all. We're going to take a moment and look at the RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star 6 Wikipedia page. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Everyone except Akira picked Akira. So, yeah.
There's only one possibility that would have saved her. And it
What's
would have
that?
been something like this.
Candy has already fully lost and just been asked to stay.
It's true. If Mama Ru
it's true.
had said sashay away, and then she was like, Akira, wait. I don't want you to leave.
Yeah.
Then she could have been saved.
But we already know that there's the whole game within the game thing, which we still don't know what the fuck it is yet.
Right.
And
I still say no. I still say no. It's coming back. You can call it a game with a game, but I think it's bullshit. I don't think anybody's coming back because everybody's already shown their final looks in What You Packin'. They've already done their full exits. They've all been spilling tea online, making comments, saying shit about production and how things went and how they're feeling. And so I'm like, nope, they're not coming back. I don't know what it is. You can call it a game within a game, but so yeah, don't know what it's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of that thing. So that being said, you ready to move on to our last segment?
Yes.
All right, kittens, it's time for snaps and eye rolls, the hits and the misses, aka the highs and the lows of the episode. Damon, who are you giving snaps to? As if I have to ask.
Oh, yeah. OMG Angela Bassett. I died, probably just like the Queens did when she showed up on the screen. I have been a big fan of hers for such a long time. I love her work. Like I just said, she's fucking 62 years old and she looks fan-fucking-tastic. I am, such a fan. I would have probably, fangirl just as they did. I don't know what I would have said. I would have been kind of like Raja and Trinity and be like, I don't even know. I don't know how to react to this star.
Yeah.
And on top of that, she gave really good advice.
Yeah.
I've been loving these moments. I know they can't obviously be in the workroom because of COVID and stuff. They couldn't
Right.
have been in the workroom, but what they've been doing, like the her name just left my head, Anne Hathaway in season 13, and this one here, like they're genuinely. I'm assuming they're genuine fans. Like the actresses are genuine fans of the show, but they also are able to provide like real good feedback, response, critique.
Right.
Well, not critique, but honest like conversation and advice to kind of really help the girls in these challenges, and I think it worked really well.
Yeah.
So thank you, Angela. That was amazing. I was not prepared.
Agreed.
Yeah. What about you, Mr. Gary?
So I'm giving snaps to something that wasn't actually this episode.
I mean, that's fair because you didn't really like the episode. So
Nope. It's a big old stinking turd. So I'm giving snaps to Trixie and Peppermint for the pit stop. It is a must watch because it kind of made me forget about how bad this episode is. And Peppermint living in New York City with her air conditioning gone out and melting on camera and having to every 5 minutes turn on her floor fan, and them like just rolling with it and making fun of it and turning it into this whole like, you know, montage thing. Yes, that she's just living her life in the moment. And I love how they brought back one of the most infamous pit stop like comedic moments.
But is it fashion?
But is it fashion? But is it fashion?
It's fashion.
It's fashion. What I loved is how Peppermint finally explained the problem that in that moment when they were recording it, she could not get her mouth to say pageant. She kept saying nonstop fashion because her brain had broke or something. She was completely thrown off. She had a burp in the midst of it, and she thought they would have edited it out. No, hell no, honey.
Oh,
Because it
no.
was too funny, and it's Bob the drag queen, and she rolls with it and makes it even funnier. And she's like, but is it fashion?
But is it fashion?
Yes, it was something
Oh.
else.
I thought I really did like the pit stop. I watched it a second time with Jim just before I got on here.
I was just thinking I'm gonna watch it again when we get done recording in a moment because I need that cleanse. I need something to like kind of bring me in a different orientation because I'm still. I have
been loving Pit Stop. I'm loving Trixie as the host. Not that Bob was a bad host or anything. I think I love Bob as the host.
I like them both. I want them
I
both
think
to host. I think it would be funny as hell if they put both of them on together as the hosts with a third guest. Like, girl,
Nothing would ever get done.
make,
It'd be hilarious.
make them 25-minute episodes. Make me
I mean-
pay to watch the pit stop. I will watch Bob the drag queen and Trixie Mattel on the pit stop, cackling and going on back and forth with whoever the guest queen is because it's some funny ass shit.
And I've been loving the thing I think I've been loving the most about it is that it is like the girls are very real.
And and Trixie drops all the pretense. Like
Yeah.
this episode, she dropped the cards.
Uh-huh.
I mean, like she's like, you know, my favorite is in the past episodes. I don't know if it's been in All Stars or if it was in season 13 where she was like, don't start with me. I'm reading what's on the card. Like, she just calls it out that, like, production gives her these cards. She doesn't come up with this shit. And she's like, and the guest was like, I think it was Bendela or Jakes or somebody gave her shit. Like, maybe Bianca. She was like, I'm just reading the card. Like, what the fuck you want from me? And you know when she's over it, because then she literally turns around and she does shit where she's like, so Ginger, tell me, like, I mean, she's just like delivering this whole moment where she's like, let me get it over with because that's what they want me to do. And I'm collecting coin on it. Yes. So yeah, the pit stop, this one in particular was so fun. And it was a little longer, but that's because of all the the issues.
The fans.
Yeah.
The fans.
The fans moment and that stuff. And, and I'm sorry, Peppermint, baby, I love you to death. And that wig was amazing. But shame on Trixie and shame on production. Nobody told her that her wig was fallen. That one blonde piece was just like falling and collapsing and it wasn't working. And I was like, God damn it, Pep, just fix your hair. Like, why do you not see yourself in a monitor or a mirror? Fix that shit, please.
Nah,
and it wouldn't have taken very much. She just needed to pick to swoop up and kind of like, toss it a little bit. Because it's such a beautiful
It's
wig.
just a sign. I think it was just a sign of the fact that she was kind of melting because of the heat. Like,
She's like, I'm just going to turn into a puddle on the floor.
like, what's going on? What's this? Oh, this is just this is just his hair. Like, I was almost serious. Like, I almost thought she was going to take the fucking hair off because she was like, it's hot. Like, fuck.
I would have appreciated it if she was like, I'll be right back. And she goes to the kitchen and gets one of them like flexible ice packs with the gel and then just like shoves it up underneath the wig and puts the wig back on, And it's like, this is not sweat. This is literally just
condensation.
Right. This is just I'm melting the ice pack that's on my head. Anyways, that's who I give my snaps to.
Go. I love it.
Because this is a cow patty of a mark on the history of this entire series. Anyways, moving on. Damon, who you giving eye rolls to? Or
so a couple of things. The big one being, I don't think they got it right.
Okay.
And we've talked about it in this episode, but I'm going to kind of get real with it. I don't think Akira or Raja needed to be in the bottom. I don't think they should have been in the bottom, point blank, period. I think it should have been Trinity and Eureka.
Interesting.
I thought of the people I did not like. I particularly did not like Eureka's performance. I didn't like the look. I thought I don't know where she got this outfit from. I don't know if it was given to her by production or whatever, but everything about this looked awful. It looked like it came out of a store. And then, why weren't you wearing hose? Why did I see your bare ass leg?
That was another weird thing about her makeup and stuff. It's
Yeah.
like she wasn't wearing makeup and she was wearing that very over, like, big beard, like, with the hair. But then when you see a side-by-side of what Kathy Bates looked like in Freak Show from American Horror Story, it's a very small beard. Like, so I was like, I don't understand. It was very boy dragging a dress.
Yeah, it just didn't look good.
Yeah.
Like, it looked... Okay, I'll put it like this. That's not Eureka. That was not the Eureka we knew.
Yeah.
That looked like there was no body on. She wasn't sent. She wasn't wasted. There was no proportionizing in this outfit.
Yeah.
And it just made her look huge.
Yeah.
And that didn't help things at all.
Yeah.
I did not like it. And Trinity was basically barely there. And I think, again, to add on to it, I think Pandora and Ginger were the winners of this challenge, or high on this challenge. I don't think Pandora should have been safe. I think Pandora should have won or been in the top.
I will concede with you. I think she should have been the top. I don't know if I would say that she should have won.
Fair.
Because I do think her and Ginger were kind of neck and neck. Now, to be fair, when it comes to the runway, I'm still kind of like torn a little bit neck and neck. I wouldn't have minded if either of them won, but it's been 6 episodes, kids, and guess how many different times people have won?
6.
Yes.
6.
Nobody has won twice. I don't know when it's going to happen, but we're running out of options.
So, well, there's 7? Well, yeah, there's 7 queens left. Somebody's got to win again, or because the only person who hasn't won is Pandora.
No, she did win.
Pandora hasn't won.
Oh, I thought she did.
Mm-mm.
I thought she won
Pandora?
for the halftime show.
No, that was Jan.
Oh, wait, Jan won for Gaga?
Yeah, have to. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was thinking Trinity won for Beyonce, but anyways, um,
Yeah, that's
no.
another one.
So
But-
you're right. Like Pandora hasn't won, and maybe that's why she's in trouble in the next episode because she's the only queen that's left that hasn't won, and so the rest of the queens might feel justified in voting her ass out if they have a reason.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to say.
But like I said, so that's one of the things. So my other kind of pit moment comes from Untucked, and it's Trinity Be Quiet. Because here we are, it is you and Pandora in the bottom, or you're safe, and you're in the back, and it's just you two. We have not gotten a lot to heard a lot from Pandora, and she was saying some very interesting and poignant things while she was in the back with you, and you just kept flapping those gums, talking, never giving her more than a moment to say anything. And I was just like, girl, shut up. I even wrote it fucking down. Trinity, shut up and let Pandora talk. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. It was getting on my nerves. That's why I wrote it down. Because it was to the point where I was just like, you have had a lot to say, Trinity. Like, give someone else a moment to say some stuff and do some stuff. We haven't gotten a lot from Pandora, and this is one of the few opportunities where she had an opportunity to really speak her mind and talk about things and giving her feels.
Right.
And here you go, like talking over her, and the things that you have complained about other queens doing to you, you're now doing to her. So that's why I'm like, Trinity, be quiet. Shut the fuck up. Let's let someone else speak for once.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I honestly was really shocked at how much airtime we got between just the two of them talking in the workroom. I was like, y'all thought this was very important, and I don't know why. I mean, it was helpful, but I was like, seriously? The majority of the time it's just the two of them, like, talking while their deliberations and critiques are happening on stage. Like, I just thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, because one of the things that Pandora specifically said that I caught that I was like, oh, that's really true. And she said she feels like she's in the same spot as she was in her season, which was that she was doing just well enough to stay there, but not go well enough to win. And I was like, yeah, this is very much coming that way. And I don't know what all you can do to do the extra leap, go forward. Because I've liked what she's been doing.
Right.
But her not being like, having been safe for the most part has been kind of at her detriment again.
Yeah.
So who knows?
That's fair.
Who knows? Let's see. I'm looking at her. Oh. Like she's been high a couple. I'm looking at, thank you, Wikipedia. She's been high in a couple of times, and then she's been safe for the rest. I don't know. Like, again, I don't know what she can do.
And out of the remaining queens, she's second to lead as far as like performance. Not this season, but in past history. Ginger was a runner-up in season 7. And Pandora was in 5th in season 2. And then after that, everybody is like, well, technically Eureka was a runner-up in season 10.
Yeah.
Anyways. So then we get 8th place, 9th place, 9th place. Like, they're further down. So that is a very interesting outcome this season because we've already eliminated 3 4th place queens. Carrie being the most recent. So, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Very interesting. We shall see. Gary, should I get ready? Should I grab my popcorn?
Well, no, it's a very simple statement. My eye rolls. I have one question. Have you been paying attention to this episode? And I mean this episode of COLDR. Hello. Like, the entire episode gets eye rolls. I should have a sprain. Like, I should need surgery for fixing my eyes because they've done rolled back so hard, they're displaced. They're like, no longer connected in my sockets. That's how bad I've rolled my eyes.
Oh. Like, they roll so far, like they're a different color because they just rolled so often. Like,
yeah.
Ooh.
To quote a previous episode, this is what I have to say to World of Wonder and the whole production staff.
Fix it, bitch!
Oh. I thought you were going to do fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck
Oh,
you.
well, yeah, there's that one too.
Fuck you, and fuck you!
I mean, that's technically, I should have played that one first, and then I should play this one.
Fix it, bitch!
Because episode 7 better not be like episode 6, or I'm really going to have reservations about trying to continue this season.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Ooh. There's one thing I'm very curious about, and it's twofold. Since you kind of brought it up, and maybe we'll wait. Well, let's wait until post-show to talk about this.
Cool.
Mm.
Well, that won't take very long. You know why? Because there's plenty of ways to get a hold of us here at Cubs Out Loud. You can go to our website blog, which is cubsoutloud.com. You could send us an email at cubsoutloud@gmail.com, or better yet, you could actually pick up your phone, this computerized device thing that you use to cruise on, and you could call us at 361-COL-TALK. That's 361-265-8255. You could leave us a voicemail message. You could leave us a message. We would be happy to play it on the show, or just listen to it and not play it and then discuss it afterwards, if you would like some anonymity. You could also find us pretty much anywhere online. If you would like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, just type in Cubs Out Loud. When it comes to our social chat, Telegram is the platform that we use. We have a special group on there for COL Drag Race. And you can go to tinyurl.com/telegram. That's TELEGRAM-COLDR. If you would like to know about our calendar of the live shows, when they're going to be going up for the regular Cubs Out Loud series, you can go to tinyurl.com/calendar-COL and see what's happening there. If you would like to support us, there's several ways you can do it. First up, you can go to Zazzle.com/CubsOutLoud, and you can pick yourselves up some merch. So you could get yourself some lovely different items. You could get some apparel. So like Damon and I have these lovely shirts that we're wearing. His is the Cubs Out Loud Drag Race 2 logo, Cubs Out Loud Drag Race logo. Mine is Consent is my foreplay, only in the Drag Pride design. We also have some different houseware items. Damon happens to have with him the two-tone coffee mug with the Cubs Out Loud Drag Race logo on it, and it's pink on the inside with a matching pink handle. It comes in a couple different colors to choose from with the white. And then it has our logo on the back with the URL as well.
There you go.
So
I can really see it.
Pink. Pank, baby, just like your insides. So you could also become a patron at patreon.com/CubsOutLoud. And for as little as $1 a month, you too can get the bookends of the episodes. You get the pre-show and the post-show that is not available to the public. So you can actually hear some of the stuff that we deal with and trying to put things together, and some of our other thoughts that we save for there. And if you would like to give us a tip, baby, we would be happy to pick the cabbage and take the tip from you. You go to paypal.me/CubsOutLoud for a one-time donation to help us cover the cost of putting on this lovely show. If you would like to help promote Cubs Out Loud, you can go to Apple Podcasts and rate us there. We would greatly appreciate it. 5 stars, please. Thank you. Ding. You could also go to Google Play Podcasts to subscribe. Pretty much anywhere that there is an audio version of the podcast, you can get this as a feed. Just Cubs Out Loud Drag Race specifically, or it's a playlist on YouTube if you're interested. Damon, if they would like to get in touch with you online, where would they go?
If you wish to get in touch with me, you can find me as Theater Cub 79 on most bear-related sites or on Facebook. That's TheaTreCub 79. Or you can find me as pup_Umbra on Twitter. The Twitter is definitely not safe for work. But yeah, you can find me there too.
Agreed. If you would like to find me, you can pretty much find me anywhere online as GareBear73. However, when it comes to all things drag, I created a new Twitter profile that is GareBear73 GRAG for drag.
DRAG.
Yes. Drag, where I follow some of the Ru girls and others, and then like kind of share it mostly with Damon in private chats.
Yeah.
Or things like, because I'm like, girl, did you see this?
And I can understand why you would want to have a separate chat, because if it wasn't for my wonderful Twitter feed, I wouldn't be spoiled every Thursday, Friday before I watch the episode.
I'm telling you, that's why I created it.
I get it.
Because there's
Totally
there's a lot of motherfuckers out there that watch Drag Race and then they post shit and they comment stuff and it usually spoils things. So,
and you know who posts the most things that are spoilery? RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh well, there's that too. See, I got RuPaul blocked. I got World of Wonder blocked. I got a lot of the queens, even queens I don't follow, queens I don't like, and because other people I know that are on Twitter, you know, for example, Smashy, hey Smashy, you know, post things, but I don't block Smashy. I block the people that Smashy follows because I want to see the stuff that usually gets shared or commented and tagged. So there's that. And with that, we're out till next week, kittens.
Bye.
Five down.
6 down.
Sorry. Oh, you're right. 6 down. I can't even count anymore.
you just want to fucking forget this fucking episode like entirely, mama.
No child, I'm so over it.
Over it .com, over it .org, over it .gov. Like, just fucking over it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not enjoyable to say the least. Done, DONE, mama.